Where am I? Have I been here before? Is she here? Happy Halloween, everyone, and welcome to today's game. And some of you might already be quite familiar with, if not the game in particular, then the series it comes from. And you might also have noticed that we are in not a browser window. We are, in fact, as a slightly special shift out of our usual behaviors, we are playing a Steam game today. And it is one of the Rusty Lake games. Rusty Lake is a dev house in Amsterdam, and it is also the name of the little sort of village. I don't think it's a town. It's a lake with some buildings around it, really. That their games are centered around, and it is very much inspired by Twin Peaks. For those of you who've seen that old series by David Lynch, so it's very sort of Lynchian mystery. There's a little bit of body horror, a little bit of cosmic horror, at least suggestions of it. Not jumping right into it. But the main theme of these games is sort of a supernatural, eerie, almost dreamlike state. But it's not the kind of dreamlike that a lot of game developers resort to, with wacky craziness happening. This is kind of dreamlike in a real context where things are sort of real but not quite right. And sometimes very obviously not right, but nothing wacky. It's very atmospheric, very surreal. And I absolutely love these games, and I'm planning on playing a few more of them as I go on. But today we're just going to have a look at what I think is the one of the more recent ones of their releases, which is Cube Escape Paradox. They've done a series of games. Some of them are free, some of them are paid games on Steam. This was one of the free ones, I think. And it's an escape room game where you are looking at an escape room and you're trying to figure out the various puzzles and deal with the strange questions that the world presents to you. And you'll see what I mean while I go along. Some of you probably already know what's going on here, familiar with the Rusty Lake games. It has an almost cult-like following amongst sort of horror or surreal game fans, so I'm sure some of you know about it. But I am a big fan. I've only played a couple of them. I have watched videos of other people playing other games, and I like them a lot, but I don't really remember enough about them to remember all of the lore and things. So I suppose I'm joining some of you in being a little bit out of my comfort zone here. Not really knowing what's going on, but then I think that's the point of these games. You don't know what's going on, and even the main character that you're controlling has knowledge that you might not have. For example, his question of, is she here? And we have no idea who she is. So let us jump in and have a look at it. So this is the world that we are looking at. We have our inventory on our right. We have a settings page that we'll look at a little bit later. And we have some things we can interact with. For example, we can interact with this tree, but we can't do anything to it. There is a globe here, and we can click on that, and sort of that little thing just wobbles at us. So I think we need something to make that behave more. We have a creepy skull with horns. We have a TV we can't turn on because it is unplugged. If we look at the plugs down at the bottom, we can see that the TV's plug is broken. But there is another plug here that we can in fact plug in, and that needs a cable that goes through to this chest this cabinet that we cannot open two of the doors. We can open one of the doors and see that there is a thing here that we can change a code for. We need to find some codes, and I think there's several different codes, and it gives you a different item every time. So it's an interesting code puzzle. If we turn to the right, we have a bird cage that we can pull the cloth back and talk to the bird. We have a mirror that we can look into, and we say, I'm a bit cold. And that is us. This is us. We are this gentleman with a little, uh, pocket that's just buttoned shut, and a tie. We can't do anything other than looks kind of sheepishly slash depressed slash uncertainly at the mirror and complain about being a bit cold. Here we have a cabinet. We can open that. We can get a key, and that's it. We have a puzzle box here that we can probably solve just now. We'll have a look at that now. There's a cabinet that we can't open. There's a slidey thing that we can just wiggle backwards and forwards. Then we have a picture here with an item at the top. This is a photo piece. We have a thing that we can't pull down, and this Mr. Crow is a established character of the Rusty Lake series, as is these creepy figures who are like souls or spirits or something like that. When the cube gets involved, these strange cubes that glow and hover and things, and there's like a cosmic horror element. The Rusty Lake story is long convoluted, and I don't know if there's any real explanations yet. It's a bit like Silent Hill, where you as the main character are traveling through almost like a purgatory, sort of a walk on coals to either burn away your sins or someone else's, that sort of thing. It's very powerful, very compelling. There's a couch that we can't do anything with, I don't think. Over here we have a photo that is missing pieces, and we can put this first puzzle piece that we found and stick it in there. As you can see, there's a number of pieces that we are missing. There's a cigar that we can take. Yeah, that's it from there. There's drawers here that we can't open. They are locked in the way. Same with those drawers. We can have a look at this phone and this Rusty Lake brochure. Mental health and fishing. We will help you balance the substance of your past lives. After completion of our mental health program, you will feel reborn, says the brochure, and not the blue file, says D, which hopefully we can remember. There's a light that we can look at and not do anything with. Over here we have the door that I think we are trying to escape. We can't open the door. We can have a look through the keyhole and see she staring at us over there. There is some drawers here that we get scissors from, another photo piece, and a pencil. That'll be useful, and a locked drawer. And we have a clock that we can look at, move the timepieces around. I'm sure if you've done like horror games, you're very familiar with the clock puzzle. It opens these little drawers, so we have to find 3 specific times. And a tape player that we can stick a tape in and play. It's actually quite a clever puzzle solution. We have a jacket that we can pick up, and if we go back to our character in the window, we can now put the jacket on. Oh, and she appears behind us, staring at us, and then disappears. So we are lost in memories, I guess, but at least are warm now. And if we talk to ourselves, we say, I should check the lights. So we're getting helpful hints from the mirror. And a piece of paper that has drifted down. Oh no, it's another photo piece. Lovely. That's a nice thing I like about the Rusty Lake games, is that you do have useful quest items that can appear out of nowhere sometimes. It is good at throwing those curveballs to you. Let's put these 2 photo pieces in here. I think that one goes there, and this one is quite a major piece there, so you can see it's her, that's she, standing very oddly with her eyes closed while the picture is taken. We have a typewriter here that we can look at. We can type in answers. But if we click anywhere outside of it, if it's the wrong answer, it just fades away and the typewriter is reset. So we need to find the right answer for that. We have a tree here that we can clip with the scissors and get a twig out of. I can't remember what the twig is for. There's another bush here, but we can't clip any more from it. And I think that is everything. Those all of the rooms that we've looked at. Yes. So, he said we need to check the light. So let's have a look at the light switch and click it on. And if we go over here, we see that there is a light here with the light switch on. And we can click on that and get the photo piece. And so let's go put that in the photo. And we see more of her. And we're only missing one piece, I think. So let us proceed. I think the next easiest thing that we can figure out, a little sort of example of some of the puzzles that Rusty Lake will throw at you, is this box. And it says drag, so we can drag items out, and we can see that there are drawings on the base that match the other items. So we need to try and get the things across there. So we can drag him out of the way. Drag that out. But that's there, but no, so we need to get the S out of the way because the S is there. So how do we swap that around? We put that out and we bring him up there and put the S there. Now how do we get him out of the way? Because he's being a pain there right now. Actually, if we get you out of the way, we can bring you down. You can slide out there. You can slide up there. And you can slide in there. So now I think we need to do the same. Oh, we need to get the eye up there. So let's put you there. Let's get you out of the way. Let's get you out of the way so we can interact with you. Get you there. That's there. That's there. So we've swapped those two around. We can stick over there, put you there, and put you there. Success! And the box opens, and we have our final photo piece, which is very exciting. We can move back to our picture. Put the final photo piece in, and it is us standing with her, and on the back of the picture is the picture of a typewriter and the words "the woman," and you might have already figured out what we're supposed to do with the woman. It's very sort of Sherlock Holmes. I think he called the lady in scarlet or whatever she was. I think he always used to just refer to her as the woman, Irene Adler. Yeah. Anyway, let's try this. Let's try the space woman. A place to empty the mind, reflect on the past, and I woke up in this room. I felt different, less real. Where is she, the woman? And now this is quite interesting. It's fortunate we have a pencil because it said draw to fill. So if we fill in the character here sufficiently, you don't need to fill the whole thing in, but you do need to stay in the lines. Did I exit the lines too much? No. Alright, so we get enough filled in there. I have to get out of here. I know I did it before, but the door is closed. I don't think I read the previous one properly. But let us color in the door, shall we? With my terrible mouse work. You just need to color in enough that it triggers the next thing. Why do I keep thinking of her? I never met this woman. It was just another murder case. Except that you did, because you're in a picture with her, are you not? That picture is photoshopped, but I think this game is set in like the 1980s or something. Nobody's photoshopping anything. What do I know about her? How did she die? And now we have a very unsettling draw of the pencil, and her eyes have gone red. She stares at us. Case 23 might be the key to escape my mind. Yeah, that's a nice little hint of the kind of mental issues that the main character is always wrestling with in a Rusty Lake game, that Rusty Lake claims to be able to help with and possibly eat the evil spirits that harass you. I don't know. It's very strange. It's very surreal. I do recommend playing the Cube Escape games. They are very, very good, very surreal, powerful kind of storyline that never resolves itself to progress through. I mean, they're good. They're good. They're interesting. So yeah, if I am successful in one thing today, it is getting more people involved in Rusty Lake, which I would love to do. Anyway, so we have gotten a gold key. Now we have a new message that we need to find the words for. A place to empty the mind, reflect on the past and the future. But first of all, let us find where this key goes. And I think the key goes here. So if we use that, and we put it in there, and we have successfully opened this. And as you can see here, we have a projector that we can put a slide into and then turn on. And over here, we have case 23 that requires bits of evidence. We don't know exactly what that will then bring us. But we also have the top of this cabinet opens. And here we have the thing for pulling the blind down, which I think the projector is looking at, so we use that there. And we have the evidence book, so we have the newspaper article, a slide, and a tape, a cassette tape. So, step one, let's have a look at case 23, because I think one of them was newspaper article. So if we click on that and put it here, and it has a symbol on it, which is interesting. So I'm guessing we need to get the symbols to open the thing up. We also have a slide and tape. So if we have a look at the slide projector, let's pop the slide in there. We close it and we turn it on. Oh, and we have another key. So if we use, is it this key? No. Where does this key go? I think it goes over here. And we get a cube, which is a fairly dramatic find because this game, the cubes are quite a significant part of this game. Nevertheless, we can place this cube in here, I discovered, and we get sparkles. And we can then turn around and use this projector, because you can see that an image is being portrayed on there. So if we pull that down, we can see, first of all, the mirror lines up here, and we have the clock. And we can see there is a circle drawn here that circles around the 4. And now I struggled with this one quite a bit, but this is the top of the bird cage and the lamp. So if we line those up as well, we get a 5. So it's VIV. And the significant fact in here is that the clock is drawn. So VIV. So let us escape this and head to the clock. And we can pull one hand to the V, and one hand was already on the IV, and we get matches. And that is where I am going to stop. We still have a tape as well. We can drag the tape out here. Yeah, that is where I'm going to stop. I think I've shown enough gameplay. I have spoiled enough of the puzzles that you guys can come and have a look at. There is a walkthrough hosted on their site. I think on their site. I struggled to find a walkthrough when I wanted one. There were plenty of others, but not the one I was looking for, and I had to figure things out the hard way, which was a fun exercise. But this is the game, and I hope I've given a taste of the sense of weirdness and surreality. Yeah, and the way it sort of, the way it runs, the way things like drawings will give you items and mirrors will give you items and trigger things, and typing on a typewriter and all, you know, like I was saying, there's a sense of reality here that is not quite real, and that is the eeriness that really makes these games, really portrays them. And the puzzles are fun and quite difficult, quite fun to play through. Yeah, I recommend it super strongly, super heartily, this game in particular, and then go and have a look at Rusty Lake play some of their other games. But I hope that has been an interesting video. I'm not really going to give critique on this. I don't know if the devs will even see this video ever, which is sad for me. I love it when the devs see that somebody has enthused about their games, because I enthuse about these games. But I mean, they have the quality of life controls for separate music and sound. They've got some graphics controls. I did try going full screen, and it freaked out on this Linux/Proton setup. So you might have more luck with the graphics quality and the graphics size than I did. So yeah, I wish you the best of luck with that. Yeah, and thank you for watching, and I hope this video has pleased you, and I hope you have a good time, and good luck, and I hope to see you in the next video, and happy Halloween. Goodbye.